Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the tens and maybe less listening around the world. You're about to listen to the most prestigious football award show to ever grace this earth. Welcome to the first ever A&J Football Award Show. Now here's your hosts, Adam and Javin from the A&J Podcast.
Thank you. You know, when I was a little kid growing up, I always wanted to host one of these award shows. Nobody ever thought that I could make it. You know, it's such a big honor to me to host the first annual A&J Football Awards. And, I mean, I'm more blessed than anybody could imagine. I'd like to thank the committee, my mom for getting me here. I would never be here without her, you know. So let's start this off really quick. The first award is the Latrell Sprewell Award. This award goes to the player who is most likely going to choke out a member of the coaching staff. And the winner is Jamal Adams. Who saw this coming, you know? They were talking about Adam Gase becoming the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, and Jamal Adams was probably shitting his pants in the locker room thinking that he's going to have to deal with Adam Gase again. So who knows what a relationship is going to be like with Pete Carroll coming into next season. Nobody knows. It's unpredictable. And we actually have Jamal Adams here to accept the award today. Can you believe that, Adam?
No, I can't believe it. He showed up.
I know, and now here to accept this award, Jamal Adams. I'm sorry. I'm getting a word from our producer. Jamal Adams actually isn't coming. He actually returned my phone call and told me to go fuck myself. So, I mean, I guess Jamal Adams is not here. You know, Adam, you can have this trophy.
Oh, thanks, big bro.
Thank you. No problem.
Appreciate
Would you like to present the next award?
Yeah, so I have the envelope right here. The award for Dancing on the Star Award, named after the Terrell Owens celebration on the star after the touchdown. I don't know if you guys remember that one. And let's open it up. The winner for Dancing on the Star Award goes to Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah. So Juju Smith-Schuster from Dancing on the Logo all year has won the Pristine Award. Juju, can you come up here and accept your award? Juju?
I know you told me before that I was supposed to get Juju on here, but he decided he didn't want to show up.
We'll just mail it to him. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he can't wait. And I mean, I don't think it's his first award he's gonna get. His only award, you know.
Yeah, and
I think
actually,
he might have more coming.
This is actually a two-part award. So, Terrell Owens dancing on the logo. If you guys don't remember, he caught a touchdown versus the Cowboys a long time ago. And after the touchdown, he went onto the logo and started dancing and then got popped while he was dancing on the logo.
Yep.
So this one's called the National Football Teague. This is the George Teague Award, which is the guy that popped Terrell Owens when he was dancing on the logo. And this award goes to Von Bell for knocking Juju's ass off and forcing him to fumble the ball during the big game and when they lost to Cincinnati. So Von Bell here. Von Bell's actually here. Here you go, Von Bell. He actually showed up. Here you go.
That's amazing.
Any word? No words? Nothing?
I don't think he has anything to say.
You don't want to? Okay, bye. But thank you, Von Bell, for showing up.
You know, you never know who's going to be here at the most prestigious award show in all of football. You know, anybody could show up. Who knows? And, you know, it's just an honor for me and you to be able to host this together. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. You want to call out the next award?
Mm-hmm. The next award, the Spike Lee Award, goes to the player who choked worse than anybody else this season. And the winner... Hold on. Apparently, we have a first-time ever occurrence in the A&J Football Awards. It's come to my attention that all 52 players of the Atlanta Falcons have won this award. I think we're going to need more trophies to be able to get us to them, you know?
Yeah.
It's incredible. 52 separate players won this award. And you honestly love to see it. Everyone getting commemoration for their effort this season. Spectacular stuff.
That was great. Should I call the next award?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this award was previously known as the James Harden Award, now known as the Deshaun Watson Award. This is to the player most likely to request a trade out of Houston. And I kind of opened it up to baseball too, just to give out, you know, more opportunity to people.
Mm-hmm.
We have, let's see, opening it up. La La Land. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. JJ Watt. Sorry. No, La La Land. Stop. Don't come up. Sorry. You guys didn't win. I'm sorry. My producer's in my ear right now. JJ Watt won the award. Most likely to request a trade from Houston. I'm sorry. JJ Watt, you here?
Seems JJ Watt's very upset that you misread the name. He's not even coming up to the stage to accept his award.
Guys, JJ Watt just got up and left. He just got up and left the Zoom call.
That's tragic. You hate to see it.
I'm sorry, guy. That wasn't professional of me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you really screwed the pooch on that one, man. Maybe JJ Watt was gonna sponsor us. Who knows? Anyway, I guess I'll just. Next, we have the Jackson Mahomes Award in TikTok Excellence. This award goes to the player who's been very dedicated to keeping his TikTok up, even if it's detrimental to his play. And the winner is Juju Smith-Schuster, a two-time A&J Award winner in the same day. Isn't that incredible?
That's incredible. That's never happened before.
I'm getting a word from my producer. Apparently Juju Smith has let us know that if we say his name one more time during this award show, he's gonna come and kill both of us.
I like to see him try, honestly.
So, would you like to get started with the next word?
I think Juju forgot that we have Von Bell in the in the place in the venue. Von Bell, you still here? Wait, hold up. Yeah, Von Bell's right here. He's in the back eating the sandwiches. So you don't gotta worry about it.
All right, we're good.
I got the whole Cincinnati Bengals in my behind. We're good. All right, so the next award is the Tankathon Award.
Ooh.
This goes to the individual most dedicated to the tank. Obviously, there's people always talk about tanking, but they don't really commit to the tank. This is for the person who's committed to the tank throughout the year. Can we get a drum roll, please? And the winner is Greg Williams, former Jets defensive coordinator. Greg, come up here.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy, man. So many players, man, just getting what they deserve today.
Mm-hmm. Greg Williams, I can't argue that award. You know, he was dedicated to the tank.
Would you like to give us some examples from the season to really show the viewers at home, you know, what if they don't understand?
So Greg Williams, I think what really put him over the top, other than the 1-15 record this season and Jets being a horrible defense, but I like to go back to that one clip of the Raider game when there was like less than a minute, fourth quarter, down up a touchdown, I believe, or 6 points, and he called a cover 0, and he left a rookie cornerback on the fastest receiver probably in the league, Henry Ruggs, and I think that was very inspirational, honestly, that he was that devoted to the tank. That's true inspiration right there. Some people would have folded. Some people would have just dropped back 6 guys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No, he was like, no, we're going to see this through.
Wow, that's spectacular.
The tankathon doesn't end. It's not a sprint. It's a tankathon.
For my second to last award, I have the Polly Award. This award's named after the player that broke Geno Smith's jaw. I don't know how to say his name. I'm not even going to attempt to. This award goes to the player who hates his quarterback the most. And the winner for the Polly Award for the 2020 A&J Football Award ceremony is Evan Ingram. Wow, who saw that coming? You know, Evan Ingram dropped a lot of catches, a lot of interceptions off his hands. He hates Daniel Jones. Every time he sees him, he just wants to punch a hole through his face. You could just tell the look on his face. He does not like that guy.
I'm surprised. I thought there were some other guys that could have won that award, but yeah, Evan Ingram definitely deserved it. He definitely had something out against Daniel Jones. I don't know what it was. Just caused 6 interceptions. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll find. Is Evan here? Can we interview him right now or?
No, he refused to show.
Oh, he's at the Pro Bowl game right now.
Yeah, he's at the Pro Bowl game.
He was busy. Okay. Speaking of Pro Bowl, for the next award, Evan Ingram, don't go anywhere if you're here. The Pro Bowler most likely to be cut next year. The award goes to, the Pro Bowler who will most likely be cut. And I went through all the Pro Bowlers this year, and I seriously looked and I said, what Pro Bowler has a realistic chance of being cut next year or let go? So let's see. Let's open it up. And the winner is Evan Ingram, back-to-back awards.
Wow. Another 2-time winner.
Wow, we're setting all new records here. First, it was Juju with the 2 awards. Now Evan Ingram with 2 awards back-to-back.
A whole team winning awards. This is just unprecedented in the history of the A&J Football Awards ceremony.
Wow. So here you go, Evan. Oh, he's still not here? Okay. He's at the Pro Bowl. I forgot.
He refused to show up. I told him what the awards were for, and he wasn't looking.
You know what it was? I think he was so surprised that he got an award. Like, he was so surprised he made the Pro Bowl that he didn't show up.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think that's what happened.
Makes sense to me. For my final award, I have the MVP award. This award goes to a player whose on-field dedication is only unmatched by their dedication off the field. And the winner for the most valuable parent award goes to Phillip Rivers. Spectacular. Phillip Rivers raising like 70 kids on his own. Never gonna retire because he's got to pay off all these, all those college tuitions and whatnot. And it's a testament to how strong he is, to his his on-field like dedication, to his dedication as a father off the field. You know, you love to see it.
Yeah, no, he definitely deserved the award. There was no question.
Yep.
Not a better in the NFL than Rivers. All right, so for the last award, right? This is the last one?
Yeah.
This is the Aaron Rodgers Award. This is for the quarterback for excellent quarterback play in the NFC. It's for a figurehead, person that's great on the field, off the field, who continues to get better and better. Ladies and gentlemen, the Aaron Rodgers Award goes to Tom Brady. Tom Brady, you got the Aaron Rodgers Award. Tom Brady here. Oh, Tom Brady's here. He's here to collect that trophy, actually.
Oh, he's kissing his son on the lips.
Oh. Tom Brady, kissing his son on the lips. Okay, he's walking up here. Here you go, Tom.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to see you guys.
For excellent quarterback play in the NFC, the Aaron Rodgers Award goes to Tom Brady.
Excellent, amazing.
That was the last award. Anything? I thought it was pretty good.
I think for a first award ceremony, I thought it went pretty well. But I think we should start getting on to the podcast now. Let me get out of my 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
You know,
let me unbuckle the pants. Let me take off the tie.
So, what do you want to start with talking about first? You want to talk about football first?
Since we did the award show, why not?
So Houston signed former Ravens assistant head coach, and not only the head coach, he was the head coach, right? Assistant head coach, wide receiver coach, pass game coordinator, and I mean, this guy's probably the water boy, the janitor, probably prints the screens on the jerseys and shit, like the numbers, you know. Houston signed David Culley.
Yeah. So, David Culley is kind of an unknown. Like, he had a lot of jobs with the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of an unknown. I don't know if that will help keep Deshaun Watson. I don't know if there's anything Culley can say to change his mind. But I mean, for a head coach hire, sure, he sounds like he has a pretty good resume. We'll see. His first test doesn't even start when the season starts. His first test is to reaching out to Watson, him and Sirianni, or whatever the general manager's name. I think it's Sirianni or something. And they got to try to convince Deshaun Watson to stay. So it's going to be a tough first assignment for the new head coach.
I think we're going to get to talking about Deshaun Watson trades in a minute. The biggest news coming out this week, right? I don't know why I didn't start with this, but it's whatever. Stafford got traded to the Rams for Jared Goff and 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick, right? So, I mean, all in all, I think this plays good for both sides. The Rams never keep their first-round picks. They always trade them for some reason. Stafford goes on the Rams. I think it's a good fit for him. Sean McVay's a good coach. He went from the worst defense in the league to the best defense in the league last year, at least. He has a good receiving core over there. I think it's going to be good for the Rams that they signed Matthew Stafford. I think the only loser in this trade really is Jared Goff, probably, and Deshaun Watson too. But we'll get into that in a second. The Lions GM's making big trades to start off his tenure. I think that's big. Shows that he wants to change stuff around here. Stafford's been there for how long now? 11 years, something like that.
Yeah.
If they're not gonna get it done with him, they might as well try something else. They're getting some picks. They got another quarterback who's He can throw the ball. I'm not a big Jared Goff guy, but I mean he's not terrible, you know. What do you think about this whole trade?
Yeah, actually, I think this is a huge win for the Rams. To find a sucker, to find someone actually willing to take Jared Goff's contract and also be getting a upgrade at the quarterback position. I mean, that seemed kind of impossible just a couple days ago, and they got it done. Now, it did take 2 first-round picks, and I think a third, right? I think it was
A
two
third
first
or
and
a
a third.
second?
Yeah, I think it was a third. Might have been a second. So they don't really value the first-round picks anyways. They're win now mode, so the first-round pick's not gonna haunt you. You know, when you're trying to win now, it always helps to get the first-round picks, but when you're trying to win now, you can live with it. I think there was to get rid of Jared Goff's money and to get a pretty decent upgrade at the quarterback position, someone that can actually run an offense and be more than just a field general, guy to get you a couple first downs and kick a field goal and stuff. Um, I think Detroit, this also was not a bad trade, depending on how they view Jared Goff. I hope for Lions fans, I hope they view Goff as an asset and not any kind of franchise quarterback or the answer quarterback. They got the 2 first-round picks. They should try to maybe hold him off for a year or two. Maybe he plays good and then you try to flip him for another first. Until maybe there's a quarterback that goes down on a Super Bowl caliber team. Something happens and then you could flip him for a first-round pick. So, the Lions are nowhere near close to contending.
Yeah.
So their best chance of trying to get there is just try to collect as many first round picks as they can. And they did with this trade.
And I said before, I think Deshaun Watson is one of the losers coming out of this trade. And I said that because so the Rams traded 2 first round picks and a third, right? That was for Stafford. And what does that mean for someone like Watson, his trade value, Like if you need 2 firsts and a third and a starting caliber quarterback, what are teams gonna have to be able to give up to get Deshaun Watson, like the Jets? What are they gonna have to give up to get him?
So I think the reason the trade package was so heavy for Stafford is because Goff is a starting caliber quarterback, but he also is a $30 million cap hit. So you have to find a team willing to take and pay his big contract. He's got a big contract. And very limited teams have the space to do that. So that's why I think they viewed at taking back Goff as a salary dump, even though he's still a decent quarterback, like a average quarterback. So that's where I think the second first round pick came from, or maybe, the third round pick. So I think if it's just Deshaun Watson and the Texans aren't taking back a big contract like that back, I think it'll still take 3 first round picks, maybe 4, and a young, controllable player that has Pro Bowl level potential, whether that's a quarterback like Tua or Sam Darnold from the Jets and the Dolphins, whether that's Quinn Williams from the Jets, whether that's Xavier Howard or whoever, But there's a report saying that they want defensive players, so take one good defensive player from one of these teams reported to have interest in him. Maybe even the 49ers. They got some defensive talent that they can give up, and their defense will still be good. And they have draft picks,
Yeah.
So I still think it's 3 to 4 first and a young, controllable player.
Speaking of the 49ers, there have been reports that they're looking into Kirk Cousins, trying to make a move on him. Kyle Shanahan, apparently he loves the guy.
Yeah, I don't really understand this one. I mean, I understand that they're in a very tough position because they would have to get rid of Jimmy. I think that would probably be what would happen. They would probably just swap quarterbacks and picks would swap hands. I don't know. I think I kind of was hoping that the 49ers would go a different approach, try to get an even better quarterback Cousins, because Cousins is okay. I mean, Garoppolo sucks, so you're getting an improvement there, but I thought maybe the Stafford they could have been on. Deshaun Watson maybe they could be on. So I don't think Kirk Cousins puts them over the top. I still think they have a great defense, great offensive line, good running backs. So, I mean, Can Kirk Cousins go in a system like that and win games? Yeah, of course, because you're not really asking him to do much. You're asking him to get first downs and hand the ball off. And that sounds like Kirk Cousins, right?
Yep.
Handing the ball off. So I think it's interesting. I think they're in a pretty shitty spot, so the options are kind of limited. Uh, so not much to say. I will see how this report evolves as the days go.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else in football news that happened?
No, just the Pro Bowl, but I was looking at the stream and it was kind of whack. I only watched for a couple of minutes. I think they were playing Madden or something.
Yeah, they were.
So they were playing Madden. I forgot who it was. They were just interviewing players. They were playing Madden. I didn't watch it. I wasn't really too interested in it.
Well, I mean, Super Bowl's next week.
You
want to talk about that?
Of course, we could talk about it.
Our Pickems, because we didn't do them last week.
Oh, we didn't. Oh, so
yeah.
It is Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks versus Chiefs at Tampa. Home field advantage goes to Tampa, and it kind of sucks that this is the first time it's ever happened because there's no fans in the stadium. Like that sucks.
Fans. They're not gonna have a lot, but they're gonna have
yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It's not like a packed Tampa Bay Bucks crowd state,
Yeah.
Somewhere where the place is packed and it's all Bucks fans. So that kind of sucks, but I think as far as matchup goes, I think this is gonna be a real good Super Bowl, man. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna come down to whoever has the ball last. So whoever gets the ball with the 2 minutes in the fourth, down a touchdown or down 6 points, whatever, probably end up winning. And I think I have the Chiefs winning this game. I think the score will be 35-34. At that close, 32. That's my final. 35-32 Chiefs.
All right. Yeah, I also have the Chiefs winning. I mean, like you said, it's gonna be a good Super Bowl. I agree. It's got to be better than Tom Brady's last Super Bowl because that one was terrible. But Chiefs is looking good, man. They just haven't slowed down at all since last year, And everyone was thinking like during the regular season that they were slowing down, this and that. But I mean, they showed it in the playoffs. They're coming to play. They're here. They want to win another game. They want to win another Super Bowl. And I mean, it's looking like that could possibly happen. I've been talking about the Tampa Bay receiving core, every playoff game so far, and I think if there's any defense that can help slow it down, is going to be the Chiefs' defense. The Chiefs played the defense on the Bills last week, 2 weeks ago. They played amazing defense. They were all over the receivers, sticking to them, making sure they weren't getting big gains or anything like that. So I think the Chiefs are going to win it out. I think it's going to be a close game. I could see like in the 30s, like you said. I'm not sure my exact score, but I could see it being in the 30s. Around that mark. Yeah,
listen, I think Tampa Bay has the best matchup to possibly upset the Chiefs because I think they're the favorites right now. Because they're at home, their offense is pretty electric, just like the Chiefs. They can go head on, they can go a shootout and not, skip a beat,
Yeah.
And I actually think that their defense is a pretty good versus the Chiefs because you can't really slow down this offense, but what you can do is slow down Patrick Mahomes. So you're not going to be able to slow Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell and all these guys that they have, Sammy Watkins and stuff. But you could slow down Patrick Mahomes. And how you do that with their edge rushers. And if they're constantly getting to him and knocking him down, they're gonna have a really good shot to win the whole thing. So I still think that Andy Reid's such a great offensive mind that he's expecting a lot of blitzes and a lot of corner blitzes, slot blitzes, guys coming from different angles, A-gap blitzes, whatever. But I think he'll have some kind of plan to try to get the ball out of Mahomes' hands fast, a lot of screens, a lot of reverses, a lot of misdirections and stuff like that. So I still think Chiefs are winning, even though Tom Brady and the Bucks have a really good matchup versus them.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about next?
I feel like there's something that happened in football. Oh, Drew Brees. They were talking about him possibly not retiring and maybe coming back for another season.
Yeah, I seen that. I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, I mean that's just a terrible idea.
I think you know what it is when you're a competitor like that, and you kind of lose like the way they did. It was kind of embarrassing. You know,
Yeah.
he didn't have a good performance. The competitor in him probably wants to run it back one more year.
Hmm.
But I think if he takes some time off, speaks to his family and stuff, I think he'll ultimately come to the decision that I think it's best to retire because he doesn't really have a lot of juice left, you know, and he's getting old, and you don't want to get hurt playing for no reason, you know.
Yeah.
So I hope not Tom, I hope Drew Brees retires. I mean, not that I hope he retires, but I hope he makes the right decision. I think the right decision is retiring.
Yeah. I mean, he threw the past 2 seasons. He's thrown under 3,000 yards. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not Drew Brees. Drew Brees doesn't throw under 3,000 yards.
So I don't. I think that's one of those things where the report comes out, but it might be all gas, no fire.
Mhm. No, I agree. You want to shift our attention towards basketball, New York basketball?
Yeah. Let's shift the attention to the Nets, who coming off a pretty brutal loss.
Yeah.
Brutal loss to the Wizards. I don't know how you lose to the Wizards, and they gave up what 147 against them.
149.
149.
Yep.
And the whole game was just back and forth, just James Harden and Kyrie going at it against Bradley Beal and Westbrook. The whole game, high scoring, nobody's missing, everybody's making buckets, no defense, nobody cares about defense. Looked like an all-star game. You know, it looked like the East versus West.
Yeah.
And then comes down to the last play of the game. Someone had the ball in their hands and they tried to throw it to. Actually, let me go back one more play. So Bradley Beal takes the ball up the court with like 20 seconds. Literally just takes the ball, goes to the 3-point line, shoots it, hits a three. Now they're only down one. So here comes the inbounds pass. I think it might have been Kyrie or something. Tried to pass it to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant wasn't looking, wasn't paying attention. Um, the white boy steals it. I don't know his name. Gives it to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook takes a three, hits it. Now they're up two, and I think they had a pretty decent look to win it, and then they lost.
Mhm.
So it was a bad loss, and we talked about this multiple times on this pod that their defense is really bad. Their defense in the paint, their rebounding, their rim protection is really bad, and this is what a team like the Wizards, they're not good. They're losing a lot. Their offense is good, but their defense is atrocious. So now you look at they lost to the Cavs twice, they lost to the Wizards. How can you really take this team serious when they're going against better talent?
Yeah.
When they're going against Braun and Anthony Davis or Jokic and Jamal Murray or whoever from the West, you know?
I mean, the Lakers could fuck around and drop 200 points on them, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure this is the highest scoring regular season game in, like, with no overtimes.
yeah, that's insane.
I mean, letting the Wizards score 150 points on you, when, you know, their only, like, reliable scorer is Bradley Beal. Like, Westbrook had a great game, but, you know, he's been rocky this whole year.
Especially
His numbers
with the shooting.
are declining. Yeah, his shooting is terrible. Numbers are declining. It doesn't seem like the Nets are doing anything to really change this. Like they want to go after JaVale McGee, but I mean, JaVale McGee can't be your defensive anchor. He's not that guy. He's not a defensive anchor. He's good, you know, when there's a good defense around him, like on the Warriors, there's an amazing defense around him. The Lakers, amazing defense around him, and he really shined in those situations. But when you're putting him with a team that doesn't have a good defense, I don't know if that's the right guy you want to go after. They should not have traded Jared Allen. And maybe Jared Allen was the only reason that they got the trade done in the first place. But I mean, who are they going to pick up? Who's going to want to trade like a very good defensive center to them, you know?
And do they even have the assets to make a trade like that?
That's also true. Maybe they trade James Harden again, you know?
Yeah, listen, this is what Sean Marks, the GM of the Nets, this is what he signed up for when he made that trade.
Yeah.
He signed up for a team that's going to score a lot of points, but also give up a lot of points. This is what, this is what he signed up for when he made that trade. Gave up a lot of first-round picks, gave up Jared Allen, who we talked about, was really important in that trade because he offered them some rim protection and offered them a decent rebounder. And right now it's looking like this is not a championship roster right now. This is a roster that could get to the championship, but I don't. They give up. Their defense is too bad. Their perimeter defense is bad. Their interior defense is bad. Can't grab rebounds, and you mortgage a lot of your future to win a championship now. So they have to be aggressive. If it's JaVale McGee, if it's Tyson Chandler, if it's I heard apparently Andre Drummond might be bought out, they have to be all over him. They have to be all over him, because I think that would be a really good addition to this team. But yeah, right now it's not really looking too well for the Nets. They got to get this done, and Steve Nash is kind of refusing to make any changes with the lineup or anything, and Kevin Durant still taking his rest days, so all this we'll see when they get to the postseason how things look.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie Irving said after the game, he said, "Well, I couldn't guard a stick out there or something." Something like that. Like I'm pretty sure me and you were out there, we could have scored 10 points maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if
you're throwing out 150 points, and you might as well.
Honestly, watching the game, it was just if you run enough up and down the court, you'll score a couple points, a couple layups, couple jump shots, wide open. So I mean, it's very. And when it comes to these superstars, because they are so used to doing so much on the offensive end, that you don't really see them hustling back on defense and stuff. Not to say that Harden's not hustling back or Durant's not hustling back. It's just when you sign up, when you get these star players, that's what you have to expect, That's why role players are so important, because those are the guys that hustle back, and they do so much on the defensive side of the end, and they let the superstars carry the offensive side of the ball. But when you put three superstars, it's kind of not a lazy. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like I'll say it's kind of like a laziness.
Mm-hmm.
They just not used to hustling back and hustling and diving for balls and making the gritty plays.
Yep.
So that's kind of what this team's lacking right now.
And I mean, listen, we'd be talking about this even if the score was reversed. Like even if the Nets won, we'd still be talking about how they let the Wizards score 48 points in a quarter.
Yeah.
And let them score 146 points. Like, there's no way around it. The Nets' defense is not good.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be letting teams that are this bad, the Wizards are 4-12, 3-12 before this game, score 149 points on them,
Yeah.
It's unprecedented. Especially with no overtime. Like, that is crazy. And the way they fell apart, too, just didn't look good.
Yeah. It was just a heartbreaking loss, all in all.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's still second in the East, though.
Oh, yeah, we should mention that, yeah.
Come playoff time, it's you're gonna have to,
really, step it up.
Yeah, figure something out. I mean, the last two games, Oklahoma City dropped 125, Atlanta dropped 128, which they both won. The Nets game was the Heat game, the second Heat game they played. The Heat only scored 85 points, something like that. I don't know what happened there. I didn't watch the game, but these teams should not be able to drop this much points. This is so high scoring,
Yeah. I think that's it for the Nets,
Yeah.
They're second place right now, but there's no trophy for second place in the East, and it's all about winning a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Let's swing it over to the Knicks now.
Yep.
Who coming off I don't know if it was a heartbreaking loss or an encouraging loss. I don't know. It was a really confusing loss to the Clippers, where RJ did great, Randall did great, Quickly was out of this world. He Quickly played absolutely phenomenal, but ultimately they lost by double digits. So It was a good game. I watched the game. It was really good. It felt like every time Quickly had the ball, he did something great with it. It felt like RJ was getting to his spots. He was defending Kawhi all game. They were going at it. It was great. Julius Randle continues to put up his numbers. But I think what we've seen in this game was that Clippers are just more talented, And when it comes to a shootout, Knicks don't have the talent on the offensive side of the ball to get to shoot out with another team, They just don't have the offensive talent. They don't have enough shooting. They don't have enough guys to create their own shot. And that's what happened. They got into a shootout with a really good shooting team with Kawhi, with Paul George, Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, all these guys, Kennard. And they couldn't keep up. it was still a great, effort by them. But I think it says this loss says two things: that they have pieces that could be building blocks for the future quickly. RJ, Randall, Mitch, who played pretty well ish, but it also says that this roster is not done. There's a lot of work to be done. We're not close to competing for anything serious now, but maybe in a year or two, with more draft picks, more free agency signings, that this could be a good team. They have a nice little core right there between RJ, Quick, Randall, Mitch.
I mean, the Knicks, you gotta build around these young people, make trades for some shooters, and then go from there, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing that JJ Redick is on the market.
Okay.
So I think most likely he'll end up getting traded to a more serious contender for a championship, because he's really respected. He's at that age. It's probably what he wants,
Mm-hmm.
So, but if he was willing to come to the Knicks, I think he would be a perfect fit. Honestly, that's someone who we need. We just need someone that can shoot at an elite clip and knock down wide open threes, because that's just something we don't have on this roster.
Yeah.
I think Lonzo Ball also was. They said that he might be available.
Oh, that's a lethal shooter right there.
So, and Derrick Rose is apparently. So, me honestly, I don't really want Lonzo or Derrick Rose, because I feel like you would have to give up an asset for them. And why would you want? What do the Knicks have against point guards that can shoot? I know, we don't need another point guard that can't shoot. Maybe Derrick Rose is probably better as a scorer than Alfred Payton, no question. But does he fix the roster's biggest issue? No. He's kind of more of a marginal upgrade,
Yeah.
He's not gonna push the needle. He's not gonna put the Knicks over the top. So I'm not interested in Derrick Rose. I don't think Derrick Rose is interested in coming back and playing 40 minutes a game under Thibodeau.
Yeah.
I don't know if his knees can take that. And then Lonzo, maybe if it's for nothing, they kind of give him away. You'd be interested, but I don't think they'll just give him away.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Anything else to talk about in basketball?
I mean, the Rockets are playing pretty good.
Oh, you can talk about the Rockets. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, 5-game win streak. DeMarcus Cousins was holding it down while Christian Wood was out. He had a 27-point game, 27-10, something like that, I believe. I mean, we're not beating we beat the Mavericks by a lot. We beat Portland. Washington's in there, Detroit, Pelicans. But I mean, 5-game win streak, still 5-game win streak. I mean, Oladipo's playing well. John Wall's playing well. Christian Wood is playing very well this season. Might be most improved player of the year when it's all said and done, because he's playing out of his mind.
He really is.
It's just good to see. Even after the trade, we're still trending upwards now. Finally.
Yeah, and John Wall's doing a real good job.
Mm-hmm.
I think Houston's really the fans really embracing him.
Yeah, definitely.
You're a Houston fan. Are you really embracing John Wall?
I mean, yeah, I always loved John Wall when I was on the Wizards. And, when he came here, it's like, if he could stay healthy, I think he could make a big impact. And he's been staying healthy, and he's been making a big impact. So, I mean, what else is there to say?
You think that the Rockets could win anything with him if they continue to put some pieces?
No, not how the West is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the West is very top heavy, where it's like weighted towards the top half seeds, and then after that it's very hard to win. So I'm thinking Clippers, Lakers, Jazz, Denver. Those are the 4 teams that I can see making it out of the West. And the Nuggets are playing spectacular. I mean, they snapped the Utah's winning streak, 10 games, 11 games.
Jokic went crazy.
I always love, ever since the playoff series, every Utah-Denver game feels exciting,
It's a good matchup.
Something crazy is going to happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. But for right now, I mean, I think it's very hard to win coming out of the West. I feel like it's easier in the East because the East is a lot more unpredictable, I don't think a lot of people saw the Heat making it to the finals last year. I didn't see it coming when it did, but I loved it. That's pretty much it on the Rockets side of things.
So you would much rather see them build up slowly, like a full rebuild, or like a fake rebuild where it's like you're kind of competitive, but you're also kind of waiting for draft picks to finalize and stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to be competitive. Even if we don't win anything, it's always good to see your team win and like be a high seed, especially when you're friends with like a bunch of Knicks fans and you gotta have fights about records and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, not really.
Yeah, you know.
All right. So what's next on the agenda?
Anything you want to talk about?
On the baseball side, not a whole lot to talk about. Mets made a trade for Jordan Yamamoto from the Marlins. Not much to say. Pitching depth. I like the move. Mets need starting pitching depth. They got him for nothing. Good move. But baseball's kind of dry. The Nolan Arenado trade was crazy. Rockies actually a shit show franchise.
Mm-hmm.
They traded the best player their franchise ever developed and paid the team trading for him $50 million to get just because they didn't want to pay his contract.
$50 million.
So Nolan Arenado was traded from the Rockies to the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockies sent Arenado, the best player they've ever developed, probably top 4 player in all baseball, really good, to the Cardinals and sent $50 million. And what they got back was mid-level prospects.
Mm-hmm.
Not even one superstar prospect, not even one decent, everyday player that they can throw out there every day, pretend like he's good. So that just, Rockies are not trying to win. 90% of baseball is not really trying to win, other than a handful of teams, Mets, Yankees.
Yeah.
So baseball kind of boring right now. Player union and the MLB owners are fighting like crazy. Probably going to be a strike happening soon with baseball. Probably next year when the CBA happens. You might not see baseball next year. So if you're a baseball fan, definitely enjoy watching this upcoming season, because there might not be a season next year.
What's the strike about?
So the players union and the owners have just been going at it for years now.
Mm-hmm.
The players want certain things, like there's certain things that they're both fighting over, but it's stupid. So the DH, right?
Mm-hmm.
The designated hitter.
Yeah.
So the National League currently doesn't have the DH, but everybody wants the DH. The owners want it, the players want it, the fans want it. For mostly the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they want it? Because that's one more player getting paid. That's a one more position, player getting paid. It keeps the pitchers from getting hurt. The owners don't want their investments getting hurt. Like they don't want to pay a $200 million pitcher, then he gets hurt swinging a bat.
Mm-hmm.
So both sides want it, but because the relationship's so bad, it's a struggle just to even try to get that in. Even when both sides want something, they can't even get the DH. Like that's like if I wanted something and you wanted something, right? And we both agreed we wanted it, and we couldn't get a deal done, that would be pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
So they're fighting. The players they don't like that the MLB is just not spending money. Year in, year out, there's 2/3 of the league not spending money, not competing, not paying players. You're running out there with like $30-40 million budgets, when meanwhile these owners are like multi-millionaires, or billionaires, like really rich people, and they always complain that they don't make enough money, but they're millionaires, like 100 millionaires and billionaires. And then the owners are saying, we don't want to pay you guys, because they make up excuses like when we give out big contracts, they don't work out. You give a 10-year contract and it screws you over and stuff. Because it's true, because it seemed like the Angels, they paid Albert Pujols a 10-year contract. He's still under that contract, paid him mega million dollars. And he's kind of crippling that franchise financially,
Yeah.
Because he got old. Albert Pujols was a great player, but he got old, and he's kind of ruining the Angels right now from getting someone better, So tensions are not really good in baseball. Owners don't like spending. Players don't like that. They're cat and dog right now.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting offseason for MLB for all the wrong reasons for another year.
You don't want to see a strike. I mean, I don't think the players don't want to go on strike. They want to be out there playing the game that they love,
Owners want to make the money.
Yeah, fans don't want to see that. They want to see their favorite players play. They want to see their favorite teams play, represent their city,
Yeah, strike is where all parties lose.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that something that if you can avoid, you have to try to avoid? It's really bad.
It doesn't happen often either.
No, I think was it the NFL referees was the last one? Or was it the basketball?
One? I think the referee ones is more recent than the NBA one.
Because that was a disaster.
Yeah.
The
we
what
don't
were
wanna
they
talk about that.
replacement refs? Oh, those are horrible.
Yep.
It's crazy to think that the outcome of a season and the Super Bowl was to be determined by these replacement refs. You know?
Yeah. There was a lockout in 2012, 2013 for the hockey. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, there was. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how about the basketball? Was that 2011 or something?
Yeah, 2011. There was also a NFL lockout too, same year.
Yeah. Wow. 2 lockouts same year. And then the
Yeah, but
NHL was next year.
NHL was 12 to 13. Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
like end of 12 into the beginning of
Honestly,
13. I
sounds
think.
like this is kind of overdue for baseball then. No?
Yeah, I mean, let me see. Last MLB one was there was a minor league baseball umpire strike
Yeah, no.
in 2006. 1999 Major League Umpires Association mass resignation.
Mm.
94-95 was the last MLB baseball strike.
Yeah, I kind of remember hearing about that
Mm-hmm.
when I was a kid, and it was pretty ugly there too. So,
Yeah.
listen, baseball has bad publicity right now. It's like every off season there's a big scandal or story that's not baseball that's everybody's talking about.
Mm.
So like this year, none of the owners are spending money. Next year is probably going to be union fight. Last year was the Astros cheating, and it's always some shit with baseball. It's never about baseball. It's always about some shit. They got to do a better job, you know?
I feel like the Astros thing was very detrimental
Yeah.
to baseball.
And they didn't even had they punished them harshly.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can argue that okay, we can continue going forward, but they just gave him a slap on the wrist for cheating and winning the ultimate goal, which was a World Series.
Which, all these players were working hard to get
Yeah.
there, and then they just took a shortcut to get there pretty much.
So baseball's not in a good state right now, which sucks because I love baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to add?
Dennis Smith Jr. wants to go to the D League, the G League.
Yeah, is that newsworthy?
I mean, it's just funny to me.
Yeah, the prize
anything.
jewel in the trade,
Yeah.
in the KP trade in the G League. Not for nothing though. I seen on Twitter, it was a Mavs post. It wasn't even a Knicks post. It was a Mavs post, and they were like, "Can Kristaps Porzingis actually be a second option on a good team?"
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a poll. It was like, yes, no,
Yeah.
and I voted no just because I don't like KP. But it was 93% no on a Mavs page. Now I don't know if all those people that voted were Mavs fans or Knicks fans, but I thought that was hilarious. That the trade kind of seems like a lose-lose right now.
Yeah.
So
I think the Mavericks need another piece.
yeah, I think they need a real number 2 and let Porzingis slide down to like the third option.
Mm-hmm.
Because he hasn't really lived up to he's not a good supporting cast for Luka right now. For whatever reason that he's not picking up his half of the load.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Luka's having a monster season too.
Yeah. Right now it's like Luka's putting in like 80%, and all you really want from Porzingis to put in the rest 20, he's not really doing it. Maybe 80 is too much, but maybe like 60-40, right?
Yeah.
And KP's only giving you like 20, So they need that third piece. Maybe Bradley Beal. That could be a good move. But I don't really want Dallas to win because we have their pick.
Yeah.
And I think that would be absolutely hilarious if they won the lottery and got their pick. That would be so Knicks in the reverse.
Well, Mavericks 13th in the West right now, so
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen in the lottery, right?
that's true. The Knicks fans though, Cavs fans though too.
Anything else to mention?
Can't think of anything. Watched a couple 30 for 30s this week. That's about it.
Talk about your 30 for 30s.
Yeah, this is how we're gonna pad it out. What are we at? This is how we're gonna get to an hour.
No, I mean, don't you do your weekly 30 for 30 anyways?
Yeah, it's true. Finished the OJ one. Really, really well done. Probably one of the favorite documentaries in general. Not even 30 for 30. Just favorite documentaries that I've ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
How well done it is. How much they go into these cases and the people that they bring in for it. And then they talk about what happens to OJ after. And do you remember the whole thing where he kidnapped that guy for selling his merch or whatever?
Mm.
And that's when he actually went to jail, and he got the 33-year suspension. The 33 years in jail, shit like that. That's when they really hammered it on him. It was really good. Really enjoyed that. I watched a Ric Flair one
Yeah.
talking about how he started, and one of the funniest shit to me in it was they were like, have you ever thought about like being monogamous, which is like when you're faithful to like one partner?
Mm.
He's like, yeah, I tried it for like a day, didn't enjoy it. And then like the first 5 minutes, they introduced like this woman, and it's like on the bottom it says Ric Flair's first wife, and I was like, oh my god, how many does he have? I had to look it up. He has 4 separate wives.
That's
that man was
crazy.
just living the dream, just wrestling, making babies,
A true hero.
drinking. Yeah, I mean,
Inspiration.
he survived. I didn't know he survived the plane crash. Like when he was young, he was I don't know how old he was, but it was like early on in his career.
Mhm.
And like the plane he was in crashed, he survived, and he still went on to be the Nature Boy, probably one of the biggest wrestlers of all time.
Ric Flair's a legend, man.
Yeah, I mean everyone knows Ric Flair.
The Ric Flair chop.
Mm-hmm. From Conor McGregor all the way to the Migos making a song about him. Not the Migos, but Offset making a song about him.
Mm.
Like he's a pop culture icon. I'd say. I think he transcends wrestling, kind of like The Rock does.
Yeah.
And like maybe even John Cena, someone like that, really transcends it.
Mm.
And today I watched Chuck versus Tito, so Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz, and kind of how they helped put UFC on the map. What was it like? Tito Ortiz is like this like loudmouth, like shit talking guy. Chuck Liddell just wants to like beat the shit out of people,
Yeah.
pretty much. And I mean he beat up Tito Ortiz in the first fight. And then they fought again. I think UFC, I don't know what number it was, but it was like the first UFC to have a million buy rate. So like 1 million people bought UFC, whatever. And they saw Chuck Liddell beat his ass again. And then they were talking about, how he retired after that. Chuck Liddell kind of like fell off. I don't know what happened. Like he grew a glass jaw or something. Tried to get knocked out left and right. Tito Ortiz was just, I mean, they both kind of fell off after that fight.
I think
And
it was
then-
UFC 66.
Yeah, sounds about right. Something like that.
Mm.
And they had a third fight recently in 2018 for a Golden Boy.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was terrible. Tito Ortiz finally won, for the trilogy. He won the last one. And the pay-per-view only ended up getting like 25,000 buys.
That's
When you were
horrible.
expecting like 2,500,000, 300,000,
Mm.
And now Tito Ortiz is the mayor, and he hates, wearing masks.
That's what a come around, like
Yeah,
full circle.
one thing I learned is that Tito Ortiz is not the smartest person in the world.
No.
He ended up being the mayor from where he grew up, Huntington Beach, and I think he's an anti-vaxxer, anti-masker,
God.
doesn't
Okay.
believe in the corona and shit like that.
These brawler guys, they think they're indestructible, but die to the cold.
Yeah, I mean,
They-
you look at both of them, and you kind of think like Chuck Liddell's the meathead.
Mhm.
But, I mean, he didn't really come off like that.
So Tito Ortiz is actually the idiot.
Yeah. Also, Dana White spends half the 30 for 30 talking shit about Tito Ortiz and how he's like a dumbass and how much he hates him and whatever.
Why does he hate him?
I actually forgot why, but
Dana White hates everybody.
that's true. But they were supposed to like box apparently, Tito Ortiz and Dana White. He
And
was
they
like, I'll
didn't?
fight. Yeah, no, they didn't.
That's
He
weird.
said that he was gonna because he doesn't want to fight Chuck Liddell because they used to spar, and Chuck Liddell would beat his ass in sparring. And so he didn't want to come fight him the second time, and he was like, I'll fight him again only if you box me. 3 minutes, 3 rounds. But it never happened, so.
So I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's my 30 for 30 reviews. We had the amazing awards ceremony. We'll be mailing out awards.
To all players that won.
We gotta get our sweatshop working on those 52 awards for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're ready for that one.
No. And then we talked about the NBA, talked about NFL, talked about Super Bowl, talked about Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford, the Nets, the Knicks, a little bit of baseball, Union Strike, and the 30 for 30. So overall, pretty good pod.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so we'll catch you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Yep. See ya.